And we're live. Hello, everybody. Everybody.
Hey, I'm putting.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Art Business Mondays. Welcome to our extra special episode. And we got the whole team here, you guys. I'm so glad you guys could be here. My name is Danielle. I'm the artist behind Creative Girl of Color. And we're going to be doing an extra special giveaway today, you guys. So make sure you tune in to the end because it's going to be great. And we're going to talk about all about like how to price your art and all the things. So let's jump in. Yeah. I'm really my oh my god. My hair came out and everything. It was like, you ain't gonna be living your best life today. Okay. It was like, oh, you thought that bun was looking cute? I don't think so. Not
Oh
today, it won't.
no.
Okay, so welcome to our extra special episode of our Mondays. Just in case you happen to be pun the replay, go ahead and comment below and read the description down below also so that you can enter the giveaway if you happen to be here in between March the 1st and March the 8th. Hello, everybody. I want to introduce the team before we get started, and then we're going to jump into how to price your artwork. I know you guys are super excited about that. Yeah. So meet the team, you guys. Go ahead and take it away, Keila.
Hi, my name is Keila Small. I am the owner of Designs by Keila. I'm a portrait artist, and you can find me in all social media under Designs by Keila. Happy to be here. I'm trying to. Oh, here it is.
Hey
And our other
everybody.
team member, Vanessa.
Hey guys, I'm really excited to be here. This is my first time, so super excited. I'm out of the Illinois area. I'm a practicing two-dimensional artist and aspiring influencer, and just really happy to be a part of this conversation. So thank you both, Danielle and Keila, for allowing me to be here.
Yes, indeed, you guys. Yes,
Yeah.
it's super exciting. Thank you to everybody that tuned in today. In today's topic, we're going to talk all about how to price your artwork. That's a big topic. It's a lot to kind of unpack. So we're going to jump right into some of our first tips, and then everybody's going to kind of go around and give their kind of like whole spiel about how they feel about it and stuff like that. Um, and before we jump into it, don't forget, you guys, to subscribe and hit the like button, especially if you pun the replay, okay? Because it helps the channel and it goes towards today's giveaway. So yeah, how do you price your artwork? That's a lot of it's a big thing that a lot of newbies kind of trying to figure out their way, trying to figure out how do you do it. Because I know when I first started, I was really trying to figure out like what do I do? How do I make sure that I'm covered and at the same time that I'm, you know, making sure that I'm not charging too much, but making sure I'm charging enough. So today we're gonna really help you guys out and make sure that everybody is covered and happy at the end of the day. Because it could be really tricky, especially when you're dealing with art. A lot of times you really don't want to talk about money, right? I know I don't. Like when I first began, I was like, oh, like, you trying to like do art, and art is like something that you really, really love. So trying to talk about money, trying to figure out your value and your worth is really a tricky process. What do you guys think about that?
I'll jump in.
Mm,
Um,
Um,
it is very hard because when you're in the creative process, part of that, what people don't see is, the late hours, the late nights, all the energy that's put into whatever it is that you're making, whether it be a two-dimensional art piece, canvas, paper, or a three-dimensional art piece. And that's hard to put a price on because that's priceless. So, separating your emotional self or your artistic self from your business self to say, okay, how do I quantify this into dollars? That's a real challenge.
Right,
Yes, I
exactly.
agree.
What about you, Kayla?
Anything like small business do, I think to me, we tend to undervalue ourselves because not only we want the sale, and
Mhm.
also we feel like, okay, am I overcharging? I don't want to charge, it's just a painting. Why am I charging all that money? It's just a painting. So it's like this constant battle you're going from. You're like, okay,
Right.
should I charge? Should I not charge? Should I, oh, it's my friend. Should I charge that much? It's a family member. It's always something, and it's
Mhm.
hard, And now I see how much work big businesses are putting for you. If you are working for, let's say, Macy's or anything, what they have to deal with, in headquarters versus what you deal with at just getting your paycheck. So when you have a small business, you tend to be everything. You're the like the CEO, you're the admin, you're the marketer, so and and you have to put a price on that too. But people and but then you have that guilt, you know, you're constantly
Mhm.
feeling guilty that maybe I should lower it a little bit, maybe I should give a little bit of discount, and then especially with art, it's not a set time. That's another thing. What you said, guys, maybe 5 hours could take you 10, 15 hours, and then so it's really hard though, you know.
Exactly. So that jumps into our next point, you guys. Let's chat all about the different types of pricing, right? Now there's so many different types of pricing, and we're not going to get into all of the different types of pricing today because of the fact that we're mostly kind of painters. That's the type of artists we are. I know I dabble a little bit in digital, I dabble in illustration, and I do a lot of illustration. A lot of art kind of eventually overlaps with each other, but for the most part, we're mostly painters. And we're going to talk mostly about like pricing your artwork as far as per square inch, stuff like that, when you're dealing with selling original art, like physical type of paintings. That's what we're going to be mostly jumping into when we're dealing with the different types of pricing. So, um what are the different type of pricing? The different type of pricing is when you're dealing with physical paintings, right? Um so number one, before you get into doing all of that, you want to make sure that you do your market research, right? That's the best way for you to kind of find out like where you need to be. And it's not you copying anybody or stealing anybody's like pricing, because there's no such thing as stealing people's pricing. You can't do that. It's basically called market research, where you get out there and you look into the market. You actually can just Google it, like what are people charging. Like say you paint, dogs or cats or flowers or whatever it is you paint. You look into those categories and you figure out what are people charging for those particular things, and then you add interest, right? And what I mean by add interest is you want to go by what's going on with the market value, and then you want to bump it up at least 2 to 3% to make sure that you're staying above the fray and that you continuously adding value. Why do you want to add value? Because you want people, okay, let's think about it like this, right? You go to the store and you're buying, like, I don't know, the latest pocketbook, and you see all the pocketbooks and you're like, they all have all these different prices. I don't know about you guys, but I love me a good pocketbook, right? So they have all of these different pricings and stuff like that. And you got one for like $20, another one for like $90, and another one for like $120, whatever, whatever. What are you instantly thinking? This is the mental process a lot of people go through as they're flowing through breaking down pricing. This is what people think about, right? This is what they think about subconsciously. When you go into the store and you see somebody, you see a bag and it's $120, you automatically think, boom, that bag must be bomb.com. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That bag must have so much value. I can't even believe it. That's the bag I really want to get, even though 9 times out of 10 we can't afford it. Why do you think so many of us are, live above our means, or we're buying all of these different things that we can't afford? Why? Hello. Because we're looking at it as a value thing. We want to floss and all of these things for Instagram. We want people to think that we got it like that. So this is what people think about, right? So when you come to somebody and they say, boom, how much is your painting, right? And you charge, the market rate is maybe $50 for an 8x10, whatever it is, right? And this is just me giving out a example of what it may be. And say market rate for an 8x10 painting is $50, right? And you throw out, oh, okay, well, I only want $10 for my painting. You know, people are going to take full advantage of you. They're going to look at you like, oh my God, that must be super cheap and super ugly. Versus if you say, go a little bit above that market rate, which is $50, and you say, oh, my painting is $75, people like, oh, okay. And I might be able to afford. Let me go ahead and get my coins together. You see the psychology of people. That's what you're trying to combat against when you're out there kind of selling your art and doing your thing. That's why I say do a lot of research, especially in the beginning when you're a newbie trying to be competitive in the market. You don't want to go too low, but you don't want to be too high either. It's kind of like a delicate dance, right? Because you don't want to come out the gate and you really don't know how to do much, and your art is not really, you know like at an immediate or at an intermediate or advanced level. You don't want to come out as a beginner trying to still learn your way through stuff, and you're like, oh, my painting's $5,000, you better just go ahead and pay me for it. People are gonna look at you like you're crazy. Okay. Okay, so I mean, what do you guys feel about that? What do you guys feel about that, Kayla?
Well, I don't do market research actually. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
Hello.
I do
Hey,
not do market
Cleo.
research. Why? For that exact reason that you just said. Because because it tend to be. Can you hear me?
I can hear
Yes.
you.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I actually do not do market research for that exact reason you just said. Because you tend to see so many information and it like it's just confuse you on how much to charge. And this person charging $400 for 8x10, they only been painting for 3 years, but they are so realistic with their art. So then they feel like, hey, 8x10, it's worth 450. Here you are, you've been painting for 3 years as well, but you are more of an abstract. You are more of an artist that don't care about having every single fur in the pet there. But you mastered your technique, and here you are saying 450 is too much but this person art paint is like so realistic. They got they have every details on it. So that's exactly why I do not do market research. I go by 3 techniques and I'm done. But since we're not on the technique yet, I won't even mention them. Can you hear me? It's like you froze a
I can
little
still
bit.
hear you.
But yeah, but this is why I don't do market research, because again, everybody has a different style. Everybody has like what's perfect to you as an artist, it's not perfect to to the other person is really worried about having every single detail, all the details in their portrait. Me, I'm here to, let's just say, I'm trying to capture the the expression of the person, or if I'm doing a portrait. So this is the exact reason that I do not do market research, because it's just so overwhelming. And it's not like this person either. This person didn't even go to school for art. They didn't get a degree in art. That does not make you an artist. But they're charging $450 for the 8 by 10, and they only been painting for 3 years. But again,
Right.
they master what they like to do. They like to do realisms and everything. And here goes someone else doing abstract art, more, or let's say cartoonish, but they also master their skill. But then, what I mean? It's not comparable. And this is why I don't do market research, because it's just too overwhelming for me, and it's just too much. I just go by my three techniques and then I'm done.
So what
I
do
might be
you
different
okay,
than
so
Vanessa, but
if I'm a newbie and I'm coming to you and I'm like, okay, what do I charge? Like give me like somewhat of a structure and or formula on as a newbie, what how do I even begin to think about charging? Not necessarily because you got to think about, I mean, as far as I see it, I feel like um it's hard to kind of do it blindly, you know what I mean? Like if you just go into it like, okay, these are my techniques, da 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 da. And when you go
um,
into it, and then when people like, okay, like I said, when people see the market rate, because there's some people that understand the market, right? There's some buyers that understand that when they see the market rate, or they're like, well, why are you so expensive and this person isn't? Or wwhy are you charging that little bit
honey,
and this
once
person
you
doesn't? You
start
know what I mean?
setting your price, because you see how many portrait I do. You could go on Google right now and Google people portrait. You will find a website that can do a portrait for you for $49. There's all this like company, and they do really great job. They do all realist.
Right,
It's very like realistic drawing, but they charge $49.99 because they are a big company like Michaels. So you really, you always gonna find someone that charge more than you or less than you. Me personally, if I were a new artist, I will set a price per square feet, or per, I mean, let's say you're doing a canvas that's 18 by 24, you charge um a dollar per square inch, let's say, and then you do 18 times 24. What is that? What's 18 times 24? 432, right? So you just go ahead and charge
mhm,
432 for that. So that's an easy way to do it. Or
right,
you could do 50 cents per square footage if you know what I mean? If you're a new artist, or you could do, I don't know, you pick how much you want per square inch or whatever, and then you multiply the size of the canvas. If I was a new beginner, I would have done it that way, and I have a set price, and then I'm done. And then later on, you can do per hour, but again, you have to be mindful that you are a new artist. So what's taking you 20 hours, once you master your skill, it will take you less than that. So you can also do per hour if you want to. But you just got to be mindful that it's taking you that long to finish a 8 by 10 because you are a newbie. You know what I mean? But me as a new
right.
artist just coming out, I would have set a price per square inch, and then I would have time that, and then I'm done. I think that's a fair thing to do. You know what
Well,
I
I
mean?
mean
Like
that kind of leads right. That leads into our next tip, right? Which is
Mhm.
I would recommend like when I first began, that was I we're kind of similar with that. When I first began, I charge per linear inch. That's how I like to do it, which is you add length plus height, right? And then, you can do, maybe $20, whatever, plus whatever you're doing, right? So $20 per linear inch. So if you have 18, if you could do length like 8 times 8 plus 10, that gives you 18 inches. and then you charge, I don't know, 18 times 8 or whatever you want to do, and that'll give you kind of the amount. That'll kind of gauge where you need to be. You know what I mean? If you do
So
times
Yeah, and then
linear in.
you also add the supplies. About the same thing. May I do like 18 by 24? I would do 18 time 24, and then time how much you're charging per square footage. So it's size time how much you try, not square footage, square inch per square inch, and
Right.
then you
And
time it,
Vanessa, can
and
you
then you
pop that
also
in
add the
there for them,
supplies.
please? Vanessa's gonna pop some kind of notes in for you guys if you can,
I'm
Vanessa.
working on that. We
Okay,
do have
thank
a
you.
question on YouTube right now. Blaza NYOB says, so they're not talking about digital artwork, are they? And I know right now we're not, because we've established that we're all pretty much
No,
paint.
what now I will touch on it, and I do have some resources at the end, not at the end, but what I do have some research, some resources where I want to talk about that. But right now we're on number 3 where we're talking about charging linear inches, right? Where you basically, you charge whatever it is, whatever the inches is of your canvas, and then you can do like a little chart and then things out. Like I have a whole chart and a whole thing that I have kind of laid out for the pricing and things that I like to do. Now, a lot of this stuff is really, really tricky, you guys. You have to combine to kind of make it more digestible. You have to combine, for me, I feel like you need to combine a little bit of market research, right? What people are charging in the market. Then you bump it up a little bit and you make your charts according to however many inches you want to charge per inch, per linear inch, or whatever it is, and you do 18 times whatever. What do we have for 18 times? Let me do, hey Siri,
I think
18
that's
times 3.
18 times 3 is 54.
Okay, so good, right? So if you first starting out and you do like lunches or whatever you call it, right? You're a beginner, you kind of just feeling your way through things. You do 18, that's the linear inch, times 3, right? And that's $54 that you get, right? So that's $54 if you're first starting out and you got like maybe a small canvas or whatever the case may be. But again, a lot of this has to go by your technique, your demographic, where you live. It's a lot of different multiple things that can go into pricing. So I really think a lot of you guys should be definitely take the notes and take the things that we're kind of talking about in today's thing and kind of our experiences, but also do your own market research into what is going on in your round. Some people may do if especially if you're a digital artist, you definitely want to do your research. Now, there's a quick book I want to recommend to you guys. If you're a digital artist, this is for the graphic digital artists, right? Boom. Here's the book. It's called Graphic Artist Handbook and Pricing Guidelines, 15th edition. That is the holy Bible of pricing for illustrators and digital artists. This is for people
hmm.
that do, like, if you're doing corporate kind of illustrations, like if you work with Adobe, you work with whatever, Walmart, whatever it is. If you work with a big corporation, you're doing an illustration, like say for their corporation, you're doing some sort of animation for their corporation, because I know we have quite a few animators in the group on Facebook. You're doing any of those things, this is the book for you. It lays out exactly what you should be pricing your stuff at, and it goes according to what's happening in the market. right? Even regular artists that are doing, regular canvas painting, this will be valuable for us as well. I'm gonna pick up my copy pretty soon. I already have it in my car. Okay. I think it's like $25 or something like that on Amazon, or there's like another place you can get it. Some book place. I forgot what it's called, but it's like books.com or something like that. You can get it for like $10 or $15 wholesale or whatever. So I think it's a really, really good book that everybody should have in their resources, especially if you're doing different illustrations and doing different corporate things, or you're working with a lot of brands, like Samsung. I have a few people that I follow that work with corporate brands, and they do a lot of illustrations for that. But again, mostly today we're going to be touching on the painting aspect and learning to price your stuff. That's why I say try to go by what's happening in the market and kind of figuring out what's really happening, and then go based off of that and then increase your stuff times that. Now, what happens? What do you guys think? Anybody have any questions about this book or anything digital? Do we have any more questions? Yes. So they're not talking about Okay, so we only had one person that was talking about the digital painting
But for the
aspect.
person that have digital, can I say something about digital?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For digital artwork, for for the research I had done in the past, I found that you also have to know who your client is. And for example, if it's you can charge per character, depends on, let's say it's only a headshot or full body, or they want details on the outfit. All this raise the price. So you can charge per character. Also, if you're illustrating a book, or if the illustration you're gonna make is gonna keep making the person richer and richer and richer, you can also look at, oh, I get this percentage for every time they sell something, just like a book, just like a book cover. Let's say the person is someone that that wrote so many books in the past. They are like a well-known author. Then you can charge, hey, I get this amount of money per book that you're selling. But let's say it's a beginner author, the book myself, what, 100 copies, you can charge $1,000 per character, or 500 per character, depending on how detailed the character is. So this is what I did not illustrate a book, but I'm working with someone that's working on coming up with a series of story for Black History Month. But this is how I charge. Like, I charge 500 per character. So because it's something that's new, the person is doing it with a grant. So it's not like they have a lot of money for the project. But if it was someone that's like a well-known author that had sold millions of copies before, yeah, I want to charge per book that you're selling. So you kind of balance it out and figure out which one will make you make more money or pay you for your work. So this is based on the research I have done. I have seen these two methods being the most like, they mention them more than other methods. So that's what I wanted to say. But I'm not
Yeah,
a
I'm telling you,
I
you
don't do
guys,
digital work a lot. I just happen to work
you
with
have to
this.
do a deep dive. At the end of the day, the message of this particular episode is that you need to make sure that you're valuing yourself, you're covering yourself. So whatever you decide to do, make sure you have a contract. A contract. I can't tell you how important that is, especially if you're a digital artist and you're getting into book covers and book illustrations and these big time. We're not even going to cover licensing because that's a whole nother level of conversation. If you happen to get a licensing deal or you get into those big corporate kind of contracts, I would definitely recommend that you guys even because if you're getting into those type of deals, you would definitely even need to start looking into getting a lawyer and an accountant, right? because you need to make sure that you're covered on all ends, because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't value art, they don't value artists, and they don't care about what you're talking about. And a lot of times I even heard, I was listening to a podcast, you guys. You know, I got to tell you about story time. Okay. So I was listening to a podcast, and when I was listening to this podcast, the man that was talking, he was actually a big time concept, because there's so many different types of artists. That's why I said we can't cover everything, but we're going to touch on it. He is a concept artist for Jurassic Park, and he was like around a long time. He'd been a concept artist all his life. He was like, he's in his 50s or 60s or something like that. And he said that a lot of times these companies, they want to take you for everything they can get from you, right? And if you come to them with your eyes wide and your hands open, and you just let them rake you over the coals, they will. This is what he said.
Mm-hmm.
After 50 years of dealing with all of these art companies, big companies like Disney and stuff like that, he said Disney will straight take you. Okay. If they can rape you, they will. You know what I mean? If they can take your money, if they can take your time, your energy, your resources, and leave you by the side of the road, they will. And believe me, a lot of people, even out in the regular world, they that don't. Sorry, I think we lost Kayla. Oh my god. Yeah.
No.
But anyway, she'll probably be back, you guys. Okay, so um, like I was saying, so at the end of the day, have a contract, cover yourself, value yourself. Don't be afraid to say hell to the no, no, nah. Okay, if they try to come for you. Now, especially don't get intimidated when you get into these boardrooms. Remember, the artists make the world go round. We make the world go round. We design the billboards, we design the cartoons, we design the clothes, we design the posters, we design all the stuff in your house, we design everything. Okay, we design the movies, the video games, all the little weird anime characters. We design it. Okay. So don't let somebody back you into a corner, and not, especially as if you're an African American creator or African American artist, definitely don't let these boardrooms and these peoples and these companies and brands back you into something that you are not comfortable with. Never be afraid to say no. And that goes for brands, people, whatever. If you're not comfortable with a certain situation and they not coming with something that's going to make you feel good, don't be afraid to say no. Now, the second part of my story time, okay, was that he was like, the guy from Jurassic Park, he was saying that how he also keeps his original images. He said, which is unheard of. He said a lot of times when you design something for a company, and this is for you digital artists out there or you illustrators that do stuff for companies and brands, when you design something for a company, a lot of times they want to do a non-compete. They want to take your money, your time, your energy, your resources, and they want to take your original image. So that way they can eat off your plate until you're dead.
So now I
And
got
that's a
to
no. That's a hell to the nah.
now I got
Especially
to
for those of us that know you put your whole soul in your art, whether you're doing it for a brand, a person, yourself, or a regular company or a family member. So don't, he said, keep your original image. He said, make sure you put that in a contract. You tell them, you cannot eat off my plate until I die. You need to tell them, you need to make sure that that's in the contract, that you keep your original image, that you can still resell your stuff later on. Like if you want to sell prints of it and stuff like that. He said when he worked for Disney, he kept his original images and he had the right to go and reproduce his stuff and still eat off of his stuff, even though he created that image for Disney. So I say that to make sure that we're good out here in these streets, especially for us out here in the community, in the African American community. We don't have the resources, we don't have the access to a lot of these know-how. I wanted to bring it to you guys, okay? Because this is after doing I do a lot of research all the time. So I wanted to make sure you guys have all the information. So I hope that helps, okay? What do you think, Vanessa?
Well, now I have story time because I have a friend going through that exact situation. So when I was still doing paint and sip for corporate, for franchise, it was a very toxic situation. And for me, I haven't been in that situation or involved with that owner for, I'd say at least, what is this, 6 years now. So, that's ancient history for me. But my friend, she and I started in the paint and sip industry together underneath this boss. So I'm not even going to get into like the long version of it because we're going to be here for like 3 hours and we would need copious amounts of wine for it. So no. But long story short, the owner had it set up where she had employees who basically, she didn't want to let them go, even though they wanted to leave. So she would say, hey, just come work for me, like, once a month. And, that'll be it. But she never did raises. As a paint and sip artist working for a franchise, you can create work for them and you can get paid commissions off of how many times that work is being utilized within whatever studio across the United States. She wasn't getting paid commissions. My friend was not getting paid commissions for any of the work that she created within the paint and sip studio for her entire, 5 years there being on the payroll. And so it's just to say, and it's because there was this very odd dynamic where the owner presented herself as a friend and like, oh, I'm gonna wine you and dine you, we're best friends, but I'm not gonna pay you. I'm gonna take all your work and I'm gonna keep it for myself, and I'm gonna make sure that you don't get paid because I really don't care because I'm buying you wine and food, so that's all you need, right?
My God.
So she has since taken on a new job at another paint and sip franchise. I'm currently setting her up with an associate of mine here in the Naperville, Lisle area, who has a Black-owned, really cool creative shop where she does paint and sips out of the back of her, out of the back of her shop. So it's going to have a happy ending, but just that experience right there, no contract. The contract was signed that she would get paid for commissions and whatnot, but because it's a franchise, franchises are iffy and they're a little bit fishy, and the owners can flex on however they want to. So yeah, it's really, really important.
They're all like that though. I don't want to say names.
I don't think that they're all like that, but this situation, it is like
all
that.
The big ones. I mean, the big franchise ones are like that. Because I had tried working for a couple, like the big one. I don't want to say names. You come, you work your 2 hours, and some will give you a little something for creating the painting for the event, but most of them is just you being there to paint. They provide everything. They do the fact that they do the marketing. They only want to pay you per hour, and then that's it. You're done. Most of the big one, which I don't want to say name, most of the big one, this is all they pay per hour. I had tried working with them before when I first started being home, and I was like, oh hell no, why would I do that? I could have just.
I actually did have a great experience with my second franchise that I worked with. She was really, really sober-minded, and she was very fair. And it was a big franchise. So some people can take advantage of the situation of a franchise.
Yes,
and get really, really fishy for the working artist. But that's just to say that make sure, no matter what your situation, make sure that you value your work. Make sure that you keep copies of your contracts, whether you're independent or you're working for somebody or you're an independent contractor, because that will come in very handy in a legal battle. That ties back into doing your market research and knowing your value. So that's my story time. I'm dropping in the mic now.
Well, thank you for the story time. It's wonderful. Oh my God, you guys. Yes, this turned into a whole sermon. Okay, I hope you guys are ready. Where's the wine and the water, right? Like Jesus. Okay, so
we should we
um,
should all have a paint party.
right, like hashtag Danielle said nothing. Okay,
Oh wait,
I
we
forgot
need
to
that.
put that
Hold
in
on.
there.
Hashtag
Well, this one,
Oh my
Vanessa
God.
didn't say nothing.
nothing.
Exactly.
Vanessa
Okay,
said
so
help me
number
out.
4, this kind of leads into our point, you guys. Number 4, charge a day. You like if you doesn't necessarily deal with like regular painters because we don't necessarily deal with these type of situations, but I do know some concepts and I know some people who work in the industry who paint with gouache and stuff like that, and they do charge a day rate, right? If you're again, if you're with a brand, you want to make sure that you look at whatever's going on in the market and you and you want to, what do you want to incorporate, right? When you incorporate what's really happening in the market, what are you trying to incorporate? You're trying to incorporate cost of living, or whatever, definitely you want to incorporate supplies like shipping is insane, especially if you're going through the United States Post Service. That doesn't even include if you ship anything to Canada and Alaska and Hawaii and all of these
Oh yeah,
insane
anything
faraway places. If you live
international.
on those, you know, yeah, anything international, you want to incorporate all different things in it. The cost of materials. Say you spend $10 on materials. You spent $20 on shipping. You spent $50 on the box, $20 on the tape, packaging, bubble wrap, the time it took you to go to the kitchen and get it some coffee, stress the hell out because you had to got to paint for 25 hours. You know what I mean? You got to put all of that in there. I know some people who they just charge a stress fee, just for you stressing me the hell out. I'm gonna charge you. Okay. So you can kind of, again, a lot of these things are malleable. I'm for real. I know an artist. He's a oil painter. He gets a lot of like commissions from like these big football leagues or whatever, and he charges them a stress free. So I'm like, okay, do your thing. So that's kind of the stuff we need to think about, and the giveaway soon because I know some people are tuned in, and I hope you guys are excited about it. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of, but again, make sure you're charging your day rate. You definitely don't want to go lower than $25, right? Don't go lower than $25 an hour. $25 an hour should be, because think about it, minimum wage in most places, especially in New York, I think minimum wage went up in New York to $15 an hour. So if you're an artist and you're working for yourself, especially if you're full time, you got kids, insurance, whatever you got going on, you got a dog, maybe you got a plant in the corner that needs some fertilizer. You got to incorporate all of those different things. Think about it, $25 an hour, especially if you spend 3 weeks on a painting, or you spend whatever 2 weeks on a project. $25 an hour minimum is nothing. And you got to think about, when you think about kind of lowering your prices, because I mean, we've all done it, we've all been there, right? Because when I first started, I think my first commission, I did a 16 by 20 lie. A 16 by 20, I charged $90, $80 or something like that. And it was like an oil painting. I like killed myself. I lost money on the shipping. I mean, it was insanity. It was like I had lost my mind. You know what I mean? And what does that do to the market? What does that do? We all know we all know people that come to you and they're like, well, you're charging too much money. I can get it from Susie for $25 less. Okay, honey, go to
Okay,
Susie.
go talk to Susie. Right, I'm sure Susie would love to have you.
Right.
Sorry.
Exactly. You ain't getting the same quality from Susie though. Okay? You just not. So go head over to Susie because she'll help you out over there. But
Right.
that leads me to my point. A lot of times you do not only do you devalue yourself when you charge low rates, but you devalue the whole market. I'm going to say it again. Not only do you devalue yourself, but you devalue the whole market. When you come in with these low ball rates, low budget rates, and these dollar rates, okay, when you come in with those rates, that's when people start going to the other artists. Well, the other artists, and see that same thing that you talked about, Keila. When these low budget companies come in and they want to print artwork for $20, or remember I showed you Michaels is doing the same thing now. They're doing paint party kits and all of these paint supplies and stuff like that. They're doing it for pennies on the dollar because they're not really getting real artists to do it. They're getting it from overseas at penny, for bupkis, pretty much bupkis, okay? And they come back over here, they sell it in the stores for like $10. I mean, it was literally $14 for a paint party kit. And meanwhile, that's our jam. You're cutting into our jam when you do stuff like that. And it's the same thing when you're an artist out here and you're selling out. Why? Because you being low budget, or you're charging way less than you deserve. And then they come over to us and say, Susie charged me $20. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So be good to yourselves, you guys, and be good to all of us. If you keep your rates up, keep them competitive. I'm not saying charge astronomical rates, but first start out, try to think about what people are charging in your market, in your niche, in your kind of level of skill, like the level of skill you have, the same amount of followers you have, stuff like that. Think about those things, and then you charge a little bit of interest to make sure that you're a little bit above market rate, and boom, as you start to grow, as you start to get more commissions, more interest, more people thinking about you, like that, because that's a lot of people worry about in the beginning, but you don't know that's a blessing kind of in the beginning, because when you really get into these hardcore kind of business arrangements and stuff like that, it can be really, really brutal when you get into those sorts of things, because when you're battling 10, 15 commissions a month, it's insanity. You feel like you're going to lose your mind, and combined with if you're shipping things out and all the things. So take that time in the beginning of your journey to hone your skills, so that when you do get that influx of craziness, you're on it, like boom, boom, boom. I know exactly what I need to do. And you're not wasting people's time, energy, and resources, because at the end of the day, it's not the responsibility of the client to pay for you to be on your learning curve. You feel what I'm saying? What do you guys think about that? And then we're gonna head on to the giveaway.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was saying. Like you charge per hour, you charge minimum, like you said, 25, because the minimum wage is 15 almost, everywhere. So you want to charge at least 20 to $25 per hour. And but you have to also think about, hey, if it's taking you 80 hours to do a 8 by 10 print portrait, then you may want to just say, okay, it takes a regular person 10 hours. So it's not the client's fault, then the client is not responsible to pay for your education, for your learning curve, for. So I think you should be mindful of that. And if you are a new artist, like I said at the beginning, you're just starting, do the square, do the time by time, or what you said, the linear inch, plus it and time it, whatever you want to charge. But this is your best bet, and you can keep it consistent. So when a client approach you, you don't have different prices every single time. So then they will start catching up on it. They'll be like, hold on, you were $80 last week. Now you 40. Oh, you were, you know what I mean? You don't want to have them approaching you and you not knowing your
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
So
don't do that, you
you want to,
guys. Do not lower your
you want to
prices out of the
sound,
blue. Stick.
Mm.
yes. You want to sound consistent. If you $80, if anything next week, you better be 160, but you're not $40, because then they'll be like, hold on. So, so like, but make sure you know your stuff. So when you get it, when someone approach you, you're like, oh, I charge da 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 da, and then I'm done. So, because otherwise, people will start guessing, people will start doubting you. They'll be like, oh, so you don't have a set price. So,
Exactly. Exactly. uh because I mean you can't, like, a lot of times somebody, I was listening to somebody again, okay, quick story. I was listening to another thing because I'm a podcast gal. I like that sort of stuff. So I was listening to it, and the girl on there, she was like, I never do a sale. And I was like, at first I was like, gasp, you never do a sale? She was like, I never do a sale. And I was like saying in my head, why? Why don't you ever do a sale? And she was like, I never do a sale because whenever you do a sale, people start in their head, boom, I'm going to wait. I mean, what do? We say to ourselves, we're going to wait till Michael's has a sale. We're going to wait till Walmart has a sale. And then we're going to go in and we're going to buy stuff, right? We all do it, right? And I had to think about that in my head, like, right. Oh my God. Oh, before I finish that thought, you guys don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button and hit the bell for all notifications so you don't miss anything. And you definitely want to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to be able to enter into the giveaway. We're going to get into the details. A lot of the details, the giveaway is already down in the description box below. You can always go down there and chatting here because we're about to get into it any minute now. But yeah, that's kind of what we do, right? We think about those sorts of things. We say to ourselves, oh damn, we're gonna wait till this person has a sale. Because I realized whenever I would do like a Mother's Day sale, like on commissions or something like that, boom, I would get like people rushing, like, like I was having a doorbuster sale at JC Penney. And people are like rush on the door. You know what I mean?
hmm
Doing that, you know why? Because people want to save money, and they don't want to pay full price. And so then people take, especially when you're dealing with art, a lot of these things are not always valued, like if you're doing something like tech or whatever, right? So a lot of times people are going to wait for a sale. So definitely don't undervalue yourself. Be mindful of the sales that you're running. Be mindful of lowering your prices. Say if you already set a price at $80, like I said, then keep it at $80. You can always increase the prices if you're starting to get like crazy amount of people. Like I had to increase my prices last year. No, basically at the beginning of this year, I increased my prices on my commissions because I was getting so many people wanting commissions. So I was like, damn, I'm not charging enough. Uh, that's what I'm saying to myself. I'm not charging enough right now. Okay. Because it's too many people and y'all getting too happy at this point. And not that I don't want people to be happy, because that's always my goal. But I feel like when as you start to grow, it's called supply and demand. As you start to grow, you want to increase your prices slowly and make sure that you're staying competitive. and you're making sure you're getting a living wage and you're making the person that's buying your art happy all at the same time. Yes, and yes, everybody agree on that one.
Yes.
Yeah. So don't agree. Okay, so before we get into our giveaway, if you guys would like to donate to the channel, you can head over to buymeacoffee.com/creative girl of color, and you can donate because everything we do here, Creative Girl of Color channel, is all free. We do portals, podcasts like this, art tips and tricks, and all the things, all about art life here on Creative Girl of Color. So definitely go ahead and think about donating. We'd really, really appreciate that. Okay, so what you guys know what time it is, all right? It's giveaway time.
Giveaway
Woo! I wish I had
time.
like one of those. Yes, it's giveaway time. Yes.
You need like
Woo!
some theme music or
I
something.
wish I had one of those like things, like a bell or whatever you could
The
do. Okay,
bullhorn.
so everything that you're gonna need is down in the description box below. But we'll go over it briefly. What you need to do to enter it. Oh, first, let's show you guys the photo of what we're giving away. All of this, just in case you guys are new, my whole team, and we're all part of the Creative Girl of Color team, especially in the group on Facebook. These are my moderators and the loves of my life, and they help me out and they bring so much to the team, and I love them and all the things.
I'm gonna cry.
No,
I'm gonna cry.
show them some love because they really work hard. Every single week they meet up with me and listen to me babble on about all the things I want to do in the group. Yes. So yeah, make sure you show them some love. So anyway, um, let me show you guys the picture of what we're going to be giving away today because it's super exciting. All right. Why not? Super, super exciting. Okay. So, and make sure you guys share this. Share this, tag a friend, all the things. This is what we're giving away, you guys. Okay. We're giving away a pack of Windsor and Newton paints, 2 ounce paints. I'm going to give away. It is a 6-pack. Okay. And we also giving away some jelly gouache. I wish I had like the, Vanna White, like Wheel of like, we're giving away some jelly gouache. And these jelly gouaches, you guys, are everything. I actually have some myself that I use a lot. I absolutely love gouache. It's like if acrylic and oil paint had a baby, or maybe it's acrylic and it's acrylic
Right.
and watercolor. It's like a right.
Yeah.
It's like acrylic and
That's
oil
what it
paint had a
is. It's
baby.
acrylic.
Yeah. So
It's the best of both
I thought
worlds.
it
yeah.
was.
It really
So it's like
Yeah.
it's the best of both worlds, you guys. Like you can thin it down like acrylics. I mean, like you can also make it really opaque like acrylics. And it's so beautiful. It's all the things, and you have like 8 colors in that set. Plus, we're gonna be picking 2 winners, you guys. So, the paints, jelly wash, and the acrylic paint is gonna go to person, and then win a $25 gift card from Michaels. Yes, $25 gift card from Michaels that we're gonna be giving away to another winner. And again, all the that we're talking about, as well as how to enter, is down in the description box below. Vanessa or somebody will pop that down into the group chat so we can direct everybody down in the description box, and you can find out all the things that you want to know about how to enter. And you're already halfway here, because if you're already here on the replay, you're already halfway there. All you got to do is subscribe, hit the like button, say comment below Comment something nice.
Yes.
Tell me how you feeling. Tell me you love me. Tell my team you love them. Okay?
Love
Tell them they look
you.
beautiful and gorgeous and all the things.
Big shout out
Okay?
to
And definitely don't forget to hit the like button and all.
big shout out to Sweet
To
Sharice
who?
and Be Love, Sweet Sharice and Be Love INC for all your love and support. You guys are just commenting like crazy. We love you guys.
Yes, indeed. Be Love. How are you? Be Love is in the house. How are you, honey? Her and her sister, the twins, they do wonderful, beautiful work. Doing merchandise and t-shirts and sweatshirts and all the things, you guys. And they have a wonderful YouTube channel out. Yeah, so make sure you guys check the description box below so you can get the doing next week. We're gonna pick a winner. How are we gonna pick a winner? Chicken dinner is, hold on, let me see. Okay, we're gonna announce. Okay, so we're gonna announce the winners live next week, Monday, for another special Monday Art Business Monday chat. We're going to select and announce the winners live March the 8th, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Is going to go down for another episode of Art Business Monday. So make sure you guys tune in if you want to see who won. Now, you have 24 hours, you guys, right? It's not negotiable, okay? So you have 24 hours from the time winner to claim your prize. Okay, so you can either DM me or any of my moderators or any of the team, DM us and let us know that you know that we called your name and all things, and we will ship it to you, free US shipping, free of charge, all the things. We will ship you your prize out, and it is free US shipping except Hawaii and Alaska. Except Hawaii and Alaska. If you live in Hawaii and Alaska, I don't hate you, but you gotta pay for shipping. Okay? That's just the way it is. If you live over there, I can't help you, okay?
I mean,
But I will ship you your stuff out, but let's believe that.
that's a small price
Huh?
to pay for that all that fabulousness. So it's fine. It's fine.
I'm telling you, it's a wonderful giveaway, you guys. And of course, because we love you guys, and to celebrate the growth in the group and all of you guys that show up week after week here at the Creative Girl of Color channel and all the places, all of you people that just show up for me all the time, all the beautiful DMs that I get that you don't see in the comments and all the things. We wanted to do something to give back, so I think this will be a good way. And yeah. Number 5. What do we have for number, guys? What did number 5? Did I put a number 5 in? Oh, I did. Okay.
Girl, we got I got
all right, so one last tip I want to give you. Oh, well, yeah, we gave a lot of extra though.
Yeah, we did.
That's what that was. We gave. Let me remove this photo mode. Okay. So all right, we're back. Oh my God, Kayla's out. Kayla done left the building again. Okay, so what was I saying? Okay, so number 5, our quick tip for number 5 is the bigger the following, the more you can charge. Why do I say that? And Kayla, when she gets back here, if she gets back here before we end this live, when I say that, she's probably not gonna agree with me, okay? But she can disagree with me in the group chat later. But whatever. Why do I say the bigger the following, the more you can charge? Why? Because if you have a bigger following, You can charge more money because a lot of times people buy into not just the art, but they buy into you as the brand, as the person. How many times have you really bought into something and you say to yourself, well, you know, truth be told, like their art isn't that great, but I love them as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they really, but I bought their album anyway because I think they're dope. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
a lot of times that people buy into you as the person just as much as they buy into your art, as well as, truth be told, people like if you're popular, right? If you have a lot of followers, a lot of things going on, people are more likely to buy from you. People are more likely to pay at, you know, higher prices. Like if you are a Kahindi Wiley, or you know, give me some more artists that's out there that's like popping right now. Kahindi Wiley, who else is there?
Justin.
Who's your favorite artist?
Justin Bua, Peyton Scott Russell, oh God, Tyler. Tyler, I can't remember, and we used to go to Bible study together. Oh my God. She's a cool artist. She does all the paintings with the hair attached. Art by Tyler.
Okay. Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. But she was talking.
Yes, indeed. So if you are somebody like that, like say you're a big artist or like the pretty artist. I follow her on Instagram. She's actually called the pretty artist, and she's dope, big ass following. She does, you know, auctions for paintings. Like some of her paintings auction off for legit $100,000.
Wow.
And I'm not playing, right? That's the type of shit, that's the type of level that you're trying to be on, that we're all trying to be on, right? So if you have somebody like that, she does like paintings for Beyonce, stuff like that. So it's like if you're on that level, but her branding, if you go to her page, she's actually following me and I'm following her. Crazy, but if you go to her page, you can actually look through my followers or whatever. If you go to her page, her branding is dope. You know, she's dope. The way she presents the work is dope. The art is dope. You know, so she has integrity, all of these different things that she's doing, that she's built a brand to be. So that way she can charge $100,000 with the type of work that she does. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I mean when I say the more the following, the more people buy into you as a person, the more you can actually be able to charge. We all want to be able to charge $100,000, okay? I know I do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We all want to be able to get to that point. So definitely go ahead and comment below and let us know if you enjoyed today's video. Definitely leave us a beautiful comment because we would love to hear from you. Okay, you guys. And I want to take a quick moment to give a shout out to my patrons. I love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting the Creative Girl brand. Thank you for being a part of the Creative Girl family. And if you too would join Patreon, you can. Okay. I think my smallest tier is $5 a month. So you can do $5 a month and you can get all behind the scenes stuff as well as early access to all of my videos and all of my top secret projects that I happen to be working on right now. Okay. Because I know a lot of people want to know. You want to know all about it. So if you want to know all about it, you can join the Patreon and figure it out. But yeah, shout out to the patrons. I love you guys. And my top patron, which is Kate Thomas. She's been with me quite a long time and she rocks, right? So yeah, and of course, if you're a patron, you get shout outs like this, where I love on you and talk about you and obsess about you and all the things. Do you have anything you Vanessa?
This was amazing. Everybody on here is awesome. Thank you for being such a leader in the art industry. Keila, wherever you are, thank you so much for providing fresh insight.
We love you.
We love you. Thank you so much for providing fresh insight into the world of, pricing. And Sweet Charisse, B-Love INC, everybody who tuned in tonight, thank you so much. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell for future notifications, and get in on the Facebook group if you haven't. The link is in the chat on YouTube, so we hope to see you there if you're not already.
No, yes, indeed. Yes,
All
indeed. Anyway, I love you guys so much. If we don't have, we're gonna sign out here. If we don't have any questions, but yeah, I'm super excited about announcing next week's giveaway. I love you guys so much, and yeah, we're gonna catch you on the next one. Say bye, Vanessa. Bye guys. Love you. God bless you, beloved. Sweet Charlize. Good night, guys. Love you. Bye.
Bye.